Sir, can I call you Dad, just for today? The pen stops moving. James Carter has not heard that word in 6 years. Not directed at him. Not in that voice. Not from a face like this, small, round, completely unafraid, looking up at him from across a table in a children's home. He budgeted exactly 10 minutes to visit. His driver is outside. His board meeting is in 46 minutes. The donation check is signed and sitting on the table between them. $1 million, his name at the bottom, the ink still drying. And a 7-year-old boy is waiting for an answer. James arrived at 9:04. He did what he always does, shook the director's hand, looked at the wall certificates, did not look at the children running in the corridor. He never does. He came to the table, uncapped his pen, began to sign. The home smelled of toast and floor polish. Somewhere down the hall, a radio played something old and low. Small shoes knocked against linoleum in a rhythm that almost sounded like music. He focused on the check. Then the chair across from him moved. He did not look up. A small presence settled into the seat. No asking, no announcing, just arrival. The way very young children and very old men occupy space, completely without apology. James kept writing. The scratch of a crayon began across the table. Slow, deliberate, unhurried. He finished signing, capped his pen, prepared to stand. The drawing slid across the table and stopped against his hand. He looks at it now. A house. Crayon lines, blue, careful at the edges. 2 figures standing outside. One tall with a small rectangle at the neck that is meant to be a tie. One small beside it. The small figure holds something in its hand. A tiny square. James squints at it. It is a drawing of a drawing. The small figure is holding this drawing. He already knew James would keep it. James looks up. The boy looks back. Large, dark eyes, warm brown skin. A gray sweater 1 size too large at the shoulders. His hands are folded on the table in front of him. He is not fidgeting. He is not performing. He is simply present, with the specific stillness of a child who has learned that need does not help and waiting does not hurt. He asks his question again, not louder, not softer, the same way. Just for today. James's phone buzzes in his pocket. The driver. 43 minutes to the meeting. He does not reach for the phone. He looks at the boy, at the drawing, at the house with the lit windows, at the 2 figures standing outside it, together, unhurried, like they have nowhere else to be. Something behind James's ribs, something he built a wall around 6 years ago and has not touched since, moves. 1 centimeter. He reaches out, picks up the drawing, folds it once, twice, and places it in his coat pocket. He does not know why. He only knows he cannot put it down. James Carter came to this building to write a check and leave in 10 minutes. He has been sitting in this chair for 22 minutes and he has not stood up. And the boy across from him, who stopped asking the world for anything 8 months ago, is still waiting. What James does in the next 60 seconds will cost him something no check in the world can replace. And he will spend the rest of his life grateful that it did. James Carter misses the most important board meeting of his year. He is sitting on a small plastic chair in a children's home. He cannot stand up. His assistant calls 3 times, then 4. James watches the screen light up and go dark and light up again, and does not move. Across the room, Sam is on the floor, building something small with wooden blocks. He is not looking at James. He is not checking if James is still there. He simply plays, quiet, unhurried, completely inside his own world. James watches him the way a man watches something he has lost and did not know he was still searching for. The blocks fall. Sam rebuilds them without frustration. His small hands work carefully. 1 piece, then another. He hums something tuneless under his breath. The sound fills the room the way small sounds fill empty rooms. Not loudly, but completely. James has not heard that sound in 6 years. He forgets for a moment to check his watch. He stands. Buttons his coat. His driver has been waiting 40 minutes. The acquisition meeting has started without him. He walks toward the door, measured steps, the walk of a man returning to a world that makes sense. His hand closes around the door handle. Cold metal, real, solid. He does not open it. Thomas appears beside him, the old caretaker, worn cardigan, slow movements, the patience of a man who has given 30 years to this place and kept nothing for himself. He does not block James's path. He simply stands nearby, the way people stand when they have one thing left to say. He stopped asking 8 months ago, Thomas says quietly. James does not turn around. The ones who get turned away enough times, they stop. Sam stopped asking anyone for anything 8 months ago. A pause. Outside, a pale, thin light pushes weakly through the gray clouds. This morning was the first time. James's hand stays on the door handle, but he does not open it. That night, his office, the city below the window, the acquisition notes on his desk, untouched. His assistant has gone home. The room is silent except for the low hum of the building breathing around him. He reaches into his coat pocket. The drawing, he unfolds it slowly, smooths it against the desk with his palm. The blue crayon lines, the house, the two figures, the tall one with the tie, the small one beside it, holding something in its hand. James leans closer. The small figure is holding a drawing of a drawing. Sam drew James keeping it. Before James had even decided, he already knew. James opens his laptop, Sam's file. His assistant sent it. 4 years in the home, 2 failed adoptions, age 7. At the bottom of the page, a review date, 30 days from today. If no placement is confirmed, Sam transfers to a larger facility across the city. 30 days. James reads it twice, then closes the laptop. He sits with the drawing under the desk lamp for a long time, the city quiet around him, the blue crayon lines soft in the yellow light. The small figure holding its small drawing of a drawing, waiting patiently inside its house with the lit windows. James has answered every question put to him in 40 years. He has never once taken this long. James Carter came to that building with a pen and a check in 10 minutes. He left with a crayon drawing in 30 days and a question he still hasn't answered. But what he does at 7 o'clock the next morning, before he calls his lawyer, before he calls his assistant, before he does anything that makes sense, will be the only true answer he has ever given. James does not call his lawyer first. He does not call his assistant. He drives himself, no driver, no schedule, back to the children's home at 7 in the morning. He has not slept. The drawing is in his coat pocket. The same coat, the same fold. He has taken it out 4 times since midnight and put it back without fully understanding why. The way a man keeps touching something that hurts because the hurting means it is real. He parks outside, sits with both hands on the wheel, gets out. Thomas opens the door before James knocks. He says nothing, simply steps aside, the way a man steps aside when he has been waiting for something and it has finally arrived. James walks past him into the quiet morning home, down the corridor, to the dining room, and stops. Sam is at the table, small gray sweater, a bowl of cereal, eating alone, unhurried, completely inside the ordinary miracle of a Tuesday morning. He is humming again, that same tuneless quiet sound that filled the empty room yesterday and has been filling James's chest ever since. He looks up, sees James, does not look surprised. He just waits. James sits down across from him. He reaches into his coat pocket, places the drawing on the table between them, still folded at the same creases, worn soft at the edges from a night of being taken out and put back and taken out again. He does not speak. He looks the way a man looks when he has finally stopped running. Then, quietly, simply, with everything he has left, James nods. Yes. Sam looks at the drawing, looks at James, then reaches under the table, pulls out a torn piece of notebook paper and a blue crayon that was waiting there, as if he knew, and draws. Fast this time, certain. The confidence of a child who has already decided. He slides it across, the same house. But this time, the windows have light inside them. James does not break in the dining room. He waits until he is in the corridor. Then, his shoulders, the shoulders that have carried 40 years of empire and 6 years of sealed grief, finally drop. His jaw releases. One long exhale. Everything comes down at once, slowly, completely, like a wall that has been leaning for years and finally finds permission to fall. Thomas places one worn hand on his arm. Neither speaks. Some silences hold more than words ever could. He burns the toast. Again. A laugh comes from the next room. Real, sudden, the kind that fills corners and bounces off walls and finds every empty space a house has been quietly holding. James stands completely still, listening. He has not heard that sound directed at him in 6 years. He does not move for a long time. The toast cools. The morning light falls through the window across his face, warm, unhurried, entirely real. His eyes close. He breathes. And in the silence between one laugh fading and the next one coming, he is home. Some people spend a lifetime searching for a reason to stay. And it arrives one morning in a gray sweater, asking for nothing, carrying a blue crayon, and one small question that changes everything.